everybody, it's Jason from the Texas Gun Vault, and once again I'm coming to you with another product review. And the product that we're going to be taking a look at today is a weapons mounted light from a company called Sofirn. Now, I have reviewed a few of their flashlights in the past and they've been pretty good. I haven't had any issues with them. And the model of this weapons mounted light is the PL-09. So I want to unbox this. I want to see what this product is all about. I want to mount it to a Walther PDP, take it to the range and just see how it works. I also want to test it out here in the garage and see what the light is like. So let me go ahead, adjust the camera, let's unbox this and see what it's all about. So here's the box the Sofirn weapons mounted light comes in, the PL-09. Basic cardboard box. We got some Chinese writing here on the back. Let's open it up, see what we get. Looks like we get a charging cable, the light itself. We get an Allen wrench, looks like something to attach it to the rail, and the user manual. All right, let's look at this light now, see what it's all about. That is a really darn boxy light. It looks like it's constructed well. We have our activation levers here on the back. Do they go up or down? Nope, they go in. Okay, so they go inward. It looks like the light on the side is active, so I don't know what that means. We have a little label here. Let me take this off and see what it says. It says, "Read me. Remove insulation paper." Well, that has a picture of a flashlight on it. This isn't a flashlight, so maybe the front of this comes off? No? I'm not 100% sure, but it looks like it has power because that light is on. We do have a quick detach lever on the side. It seems to be constructed well, but I'm not sure how to take this apart. We do have the charging port on the bottom. So I'm going to go ahead and read the instruction manual. I'll go ahead and mount it to this Walther PDP, and I'll come back to you and tell you what I find out. So I spent a few minutes learning how this light works, and the first thing I discovered is this hang tag which was on it serves absolutely no purpose because you don't have to take this apart and remove anything. It's on there for no reason whatsoever. So now let's talk about the light. The reason it didn't turn on is that it is in lockout mode, and the way you get it off of lockout mode is you hold down both of the buttons for 3 seconds and the light should turn on. There it goes, and now it will work like normal. If you want to reactivate that, all you have to do is hold those buttons down again for 3 seconds. You get a flash on the LED on the side, and that tells you now it is locked out. So let's take this back off of lockout mode, and you have 2 settings. You have on and strobe. If you tap it a few times, there it goes. And then I tried to mount it to this Walther PDP. And so I put it up here, and it does go on the rail. You can use the QD lever. It does hold on there pretty tight, but you will notice we have a huge gap here. So what I wanted to do was take it off, move it back where it is flush against the trigger guard, and it won't fit. And there's no adjustments on the top of the light. So that got me thinking, this is probably designed for a Glock. So I went to my safe, got out my Glock 19, and tried to install it. And once again, we have a big gap here. That is a terrible design. Everyone that has a weapons mounted light is going to run this flush against the trigger guard. And so it needs to have an adjustment where it comes back, or is designed especially to fit on the industry standard Glock rail where it would mount back here. That is not good at all. So I still will take this to the range. I'll still mount it to this Walther PDP. It does seem to mount pretty solid, but now that button is out there a lot further than what I would want it to be. So that's pretty much how this light works. It's very simple. So let me go ahead and turn off the lights here in the garage, and let's see what this beam looks like. So I have the camera pointed towards that little alcove in the back of my garage. Let's turn this light on, and man, is that light bright. According to the user manual, that's supposed to be 1600 lumens. It has a very centered hot spot. It's very bright, but it also has a lot of spill, and it is definitely lighting up this garage. That is a very bright light. I am impressed with the power output and the beam of this weapon weapons mounted light. I just wish that it mounted flush with the trigger guard of either of the pistols I got out of my safe. But the performance of this light is pretty darn good. It only has one setting. It's on or off. Well, of course, you also have the strobe mode, but there are no low or medium settings. So it's a bright light, and it seems to work well. So let's give this to the range. Let's make sure it works when it's mounted to a firearm and you're using it, because this is going to be on your home defense or your carry weapon. And of course, we don't want it malfunctioning under those circumstances. And we're back from the range with the Sofirn PL-09. And what did we discover? Well, let's talk about the functionality of this light first. It's a very bright weapons-mounted light. I had no problems. It did not flicker. It stayed on. All of the controls worked on both sides. It remained mounted to this pistol. In fact, it is super secure, and both pistols that I put this light on had no problems. This quick detach lever works as designed. It makes it really easy to get the light off, put the light back on. But now let's talk about the aesthetics of this. It's a very blocky light. It mounts very low below the rail, and there's no adjustments to bring it back towards the trigger guard. That makes it not very ergonomic, especially if you have smaller hands and you can't reach that button. I really feel that the aesthetics of this light are probably the biggest detraction away from it. The only thing this light has going for it, mounted to this Walther, is the slanted slide serrations do match up with the slanted cuts in the light, but not many pistols are going to have that type of symmetry. And I think because the way this mounts, this is going to be a very difficult light to find a holster for your pistol with. It's just not going to be compatible. I really feel with some more refinement with how it's mounted and putting it closer to the rail and further back, or having those adjustments to fit your pistol, would really make this light very nice. From a functionality standpoint, it probably gets 4.5 or 5 stars out of 5. But from an aesthetic standpoint and how it mounts, I can only give it 1.5 stars out of 5. So I think when it comes to my star rating on this light, I'm only going to give it 2.5 stars out of 5. At its core, it definitely works. There's something here that with just that little bit of refinement and change, this thing could be an all-star product. But as it sits, I don't think many pistol owners are going to want it, just because it mounts so awkwardly to all of these pistols. But what do you think? Have you ever bought a Sofirn flashlight? I've reviewed them and they've worked well. And this light seems to function well. I like how bright it is. But they need to figure out a way to have this mount to these pistols a little bit better. Make them more ergonomic to use, and maybe have some type of platform that would be compatible with other holsters on the market that are designed for pistols with lights. You do that, I think this might be a hot seller. But as it sits, only 2.5 stars out of 5. So tell me what you think in the comments section below. Does this light interest you, or would you wait until they came out with something a little bit different and a little bit better? So, as always, thanks for watching.